This is Marvel's third movie this year. DC fans, you guys have to admit, that's pretty unreal. Ant-Man and the Wasp is once again directed by Peyton Reed and brings back Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, and Michael Douglas, and this time we have a rescue plot. We are trying to get Janet Van Dyne back from the quantum realm, which we saw in the first movie briefly when Ant-Man got stuck there. Now this time, they gotta go back to the quantum realm and save Janet, and that's the plot of this movie. There's a lot of other things going on with this movie, but I don't really want to get into it because it is pretty spoilery. For the most part, we're trying to get Janet back, and we have a very limited time here. Scott Lang is on house arrest. He only has 3 days left. He's trying to take care of his daughter and have a fun time, and he's kind of limited to that in the house, and you see that in this movie to have creative and inventive ways to do that. And the FBI is kind of breathing down his neck. They really don't want him to leave house arrest because he was in Germany with Captain America in the Civil War, as you saw, and he really kind of wrecked shop there. And so he's an outlaw, and he violated the Sokovia Accords. Hank and Hope have also been violating the Sokovia Accords, so they're also on the run. The FBI is taking their house away. All this bad stuff is going on, so they kind of have to secretly do this mission. They're kind of on the run in this movie. The FBI took away their house. They have a ticking clock here. They really need to get Janet back very soon. With the FBI breathing down your neck, that can get difficult, as well as this new villain, Ghost, who can phase in and out of different dimensions. She's pretty wild, and she's had this kind of quantum realm issue going on. There's a lot of stuff going on in this movie, and there's also this gangster subplot with Walton Goggins that I felt like really didn't need to be in the movie. Now, I really enjoyed the first Ant-Man. I thought that was a really fun, unique movie, and it had Edgar Wright's fingerprints all over it, which I really thought was cool. But this time, it's Peyton Reed's movie, and I felt like he did just as good a job as he did the first time. But I don't think he did a better job. I think he did kind of the same. This movie really is on par with the first Ant-Man, maybe a little bit less. I felt like this movie might not have been as fresh as the first Ant-Man because we have seen it before. It's not new. The shrinking technology, the really amazing visuals of shrinking and growing up and doing all that stuff. Although this time we do have the added benefit of Ant-Man becoming bigger because we saw that in Civil War and he can do that now. I thought that made for some pretty awesome action sequences. The unfortunate reality is you've seen pretty much everything in the trailer. When it comes to action beats, you've pretty much seen the entire movie. All the really cool stuff is in the trailer, and I kind of hated that about this movie because I was kind of like, there's nothing here to surprise me. That whole movie, it plays pretty much exactly how you think it's going to play out, and I was kind of disappointed by that because Marvel lately has been keeping me on my toes with Avengers Infinity War, Black Panther. The villains have been incredible. The villain here is good, not great. I think it's one of the better villains they've had overall, but I feel like compared to the recent run of like Hela, Killmonger, Thanos, and the Vulture, she's just kind of like a Phase 1 or a Phase 2 villain. She's not as bad as like Malekith or Whiplash. She's just kind of okay. Although the visual style of her like phasing around was amazing. I thought that was like the coolest thing about her character. However, you do get emotionally invested with her, but I just feel like we don't spend enough time with her, and once again, that's because Walton Goggins is taking up a lot of screen time here, as well as Michael Pena, who I adored in this movie, although I feel like he is in it a lot, and I feel like that might have taken away from more of the important things in this movie. However, you have to see this movie because it's Marvel, and Paul Rudd is just the best. He is worth the ticket price for this movie. There is a scene in this movie that I don't want to spoil, but it's worth the ticket price alone because it's so funny, and Evangeline Lilly and him sell it perfectly, and it is just so amazing to watch. Michael Douglas is also really good here, and Michelle Pfeiffer is also very good, although she's in it very limitedly, and I was kind of disappointed with that because she like has her own poster, and I was like, that's kind of a spoiler, so really, you had to have a poster for her? That was kind of lame. The post-credit scenes are also really good. The first one is better than the last, obviously. That's usually how it goes. You're going to want to stick around because it's really cool, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the quantum realm plays into the future of the MCU, and that's another thing. I felt like the quantum realm should have been explained better in this movie because for an audience, you're kind of like, okay, what is this place? I got it from Ant-Man 1, but like, can you explain it a little bit more? Like, I just kind of didn't get it, and I was like, this is a little bit too much for general audiences. I understand because like I can basically understand the general gist of like shrinking down to a molecular level and just phasing out. I get that, but like they need to explain it a little better. The quantum realm just felt like a convoluted thing, and I felt like you really needed to sit and take time and develop that and kind of explain it better in this movie, and that was kind of a missed opportunity. The Wasp was also really cool. This is the first time we're seeing her on the big screen, well, in costume, sorry. Evangeline Lilly is so good as the Wasp. I really bought all of her action scenes, even though you've seen them all in the trailer. She really killed it, and I thought she did a great job in this movie. Overall, I would say Ant-Man and the Wasp is a really fun summer movie. It's not as great as you might expect from Marvel lately, but I feel like they've been consistently hitting it out of the park, and I feel like while this movie is good, not great, I feel like they can get a pass because they've just been killing it lately. And the fact that they've made one good movie this year, but two great ones, that's a pass for me. It's still a really good movie, and you guys are going to enjoy it because it's comedy, it's fun, it's summer, it's Paul Rudd. It's really fun. What did you guys think of Ant-Man and the Wasp? Comment down below, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.